three-time Super Bowl champion Dale Halastray and the Angry Fan. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 here on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060.
We are back on the JV Sports Show. James, James is he's a drummer on the side, so I thought playing a little Neil Peart there would be good.
I should have brought my kid. If I'd have known, I would have set it up right out here, my friend.
So we are here with OUAZ extraordinaire quarterback Austin McCullough, preseason Sooner Athletic Conference preseason Player of the Year. Put up some incredible numbers last year. Back to do it again this year with a great supporting cast. Austin, how are you, man?
Great. How are you guys?
Hey, you're good. You're good. It's early. Shoot. Well, it's not too early. Maybe it's early for you being a college student, but that's awesome, man. We're so excited that you joined us this morning. So practice schedule. You guys don't have practice today.
We do not. Coach wanted to be generous and give us a day off today.
Oh, man. Oh, he's shaking his head
Very
over
generous
there.
of you, Coach.
He always wants to practice, though. If he could practice every day, he would.
All right. So
practice makes perfect.
I want to. Okay, so I've got this question for you. I want you to tell us a little bit about the pressures of being a quarterback after the season you had last year, over 3,000 yards passing, whole lot of touchdowns, and coming back and being named, and you're a junior this year, right?
Yeah.
Being named the preseason Offensive Player of the Year. And before you answer that question, I'd like to bring someone in on the line. Good morning, Mr. Jake Plummer. Are you there?
Hey, I'm here. How you guys doing?
Hey, Jake. Good morning, man. How are you?
I'm good. I got a cup of coffee, and I'm not in college, but it's early here also.
Yeah, it's 8:30.
Saturday.
What are you talking about, man, in Colorado? So I bet it's beautiful
man.
up there.
You know, when the kids sleep in, it feels good. You know, they slept in, so it's a little extra sleep.
So, Jake, I have this question for you, and we're with Ottawa University, Arizona quarterback. His going into his junior year this year. His name is Austin McCullough. He was named the preseason Sooner Athletic Conference of the Year. So if you guys would like to say hello to each other, you can call him Mr. Plummer, Austin. Jake, tell us a little bit about the pressures that you had going into your senior year at ASU.
Well, what's up, Austin? Congrats on the accolades, but I don't know. He's sitting there ruminating on the question you asked him, so I'll throw a little bit at him, and he can have a retort after I come back with my statement. But you know, as a quarterback, what's pressure, right? You're always under pressure, whether you're the preseason All-American or postseason All-American or whatever. You know, everyone's looking to you if you're the starter to do your thing. So pressure really doesn't matter. Pressure is, you know, fourth down in the fourth quarter, and you got to get a first down, or 2 minutes left and you get the ball in your hands and you got to go 90 for a touchdown to win. That's pressure. But pressure to just come out and try to live up to what you did last year, that doesn't really exist in my mind. You're more or less you're the quarterback, and if you did well last year, you expect on yourself, the pressure you put on yourself is much greater than any pressure anybody else outside of your little circle is going to put on you. So that's the way I feel about it. As a quarterback, you're always going to have pressure no matter what. And if you're doing really well, that pressure does go up outside of the building you're in or the players you're with. But otherwise, yeah, you're a quarterback. You got to respond to pressure, not get scared about it.
Yep. All right, you
go ahead. You're up, Austin.
I totally agree with you. I'd say I don't think there is a certain amount of pressure, but I don't think it's too great, just because there's always playmakers around you that make you feel comfortable, and that just give them the ball and they'll make plays. Just execute at a high level and you should be all right.
How does some of that pressure come off of you, Austin? Good morning, Jake, by the way. How are you, sir?
I'm good, James. How you doing?
Good. Doing really well. Some of that pressure got to be taken off of you, Austin, when you got a great offensive line like you have in front of you, and having that confidence to know that when that ball's snapped, you're going to have some time to deliver. You're going to have the time to check down and see what the best play is for your football team. Talk about how important those guys up front are to you.
Well, it all starts with Tristan Sheehorn, our center. I audible a lot of the time, but this dude's making 4 or 5 calls before every snap, and it gives me trust in him to know that he knows what he's doing. He gets all the other guys straight on the O-line, and when that ball snapped, 2.5 to 3 seconds is all I really need, and it'll be out, and our guys will be making plays.
Now, Jake, you had a plethora of players that were options to throw to pass to. You had guys in front of you that were seasoned. You had Juan, you had Doc, you had Kyle. I mean, how did you determine? Did you just go to the open guy? How did you determine? Okay, I'm gonna spread the love a little bit this week. And what was that like back then?
It's hard to look back. I've looked back and watched some film recently. Just of 96, that real good season we had. And there were times when I would scramble, but there was a guy that maybe I should have thrown the ball and let the ball go a little early and completed a pass rather than scramble. But that was just, immaturity and not necessarily believing in the play, or maybe my clock was going off too soon, and trusting in my own abilities to make plays. I knew I could, in college, could make some of those guys miss and extend the play and maybe go get a first down. But, those guys up front, like Austin just said, those are the guys you put your faith in. They're the guys you got to trust no matter what. And there's a special bond there between a quarterback and his lineman. Because, like I said, you're putting your trust that they're going to do their job, and you can stand back there and then go through all your progressions. You can go through and make sure you're not going too fast, but giving your players outside of your position, your skill players, a chance to get open. And then, like Austin mentioned earlier, take the pressure off of you by taking a little bubble screen and going 80 with it. Those are the great things to have players around you, because then that pressure that's on you is dispersed among your teammates. And like I mentioned, though, the pressure to play quarterback is every single snap. It's every single meeting. It's every single practice. You're going to be looked upon as a tone setter. And, when the bad day comes around, when you have a bad practice on a Wednesday or Thursday, you got to be the guy that steps up. That's the pressure that I think was the fun pressure to respond to, is to keep your teammates motivated and keep them working hard and going towards, that competitive drive to win every week.
We're here with OUAZ quarterback, preseason Sooner Athletic Conference, postseason All-American this year, I'm going to call it right now, Austin McCullough, junior quarterback. And then on the line with us is former Sun Devil, Arizona Cardinal, Denver Bronco, Jake Plummer, good friend of mine, good friend of our shows. Austin, real quick with this last question, tell us a little bit about your defense and the pressure that they take off of you, and especially last season, obviously, and going into this season and what you've seen in practice.
Our defense is really special. We have key guys. Amari Brooks, plays safety, had a couple picks last year.
Yep.
Amari DeBerry at corner, Nate Johnson. But I think our strength is really the defensive line. We got Alema Collins, Marcus Ferrier, Solo, and Maverick Bradford. So those guys, they're all big and pretty fast, and they get after the quarterback. And then, we have Rylan Canopio at nickel, Justin Barnett. Those guys definitely fill gaps and make a lot of tackles for us and create a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And no quarterback likes pressure, so some of them make some pretty significant mistakes, and we capitalize on it. And our offense likes to score a lot, so
there you go.
And score most of the time off of those.
And the other very important third of the football team, the special teams. Talk about how they put you in position for success.
Well, we have an All-American punter in Austin Bonds, so if I'm not doing my job or we make some mistakes, he flips the field really well for us. He kicks the ball 80 yards every day in practice in the air. So when you can have a guy that can flip the field, make that defense, the other offense more tired, make them grind more to get the yards they need and score, and it's just great to have. And then, John Michael Williams, he great field goal kicker. He had a high percentage of makes last year. He's a pretty decent leg, can kick it pretty far. So, if we're struggling in the red zone, he can put some points on the board for us. So.
Awesome. Austin, Jake, thank you so much for coming on with us this morning. We appreciate it. Jake, we're gonna plug your Ready List Pro software here on the tail end of the show. How's that been going? You guys been getting out there doing a lot of outreach with a lot of programs?
Yeah, we're doing it. We're trying to scale it correctly so we don't get in too much over our heads. But we got one of the top team in Arizona is working on it, and we got
OUAZ, all right.
Yeah, we got a few other good teams around, high school and whatever levels working on it. So yeah, we're pumping out the defensive side and special teams, and yeah, hopefully someday, Austin, you'll be able to work on the system. And in the meantime, man, good luck, kid. I hope you have a great season and stay healthy.
Awesome.
And lead those guys out there.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on the
Good
show,
deal.
guys.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming on. And we're going to bring women's soccer coach Skelly Keller.